Hi, my name is Jess and this is Knitting on Sweater Avenue. This is a podcast in which normally I talk about what I've recently finished, what I'm currently knitting on, any new cast-ons and any yarn I've bought since the last one. But today I wanted to pivot a little bit and talk, I suppose, about my sweater quantity yarn stash and also about what my sweater plans, and then for the yarns that I don't have plans for, just sort of like talk through them a little bit because they're beautiful and I would love to knit them. To start with, I think I mentioned it in my last podcast, created a new Instagram, also called On Sweater Avenue. If you're interested in seeing what I've been working on or how I'm going, I definitely post on there more than I post on here, but yeah, just wanted to mention that briefly. And then yeah, I'm gonna get into it. The first yarns I will show you is Knitting for Olive in Blue Tip and Pasley Knits Swimming Suri in Milky Way. This is from the New Zealand collection, and what's interesting is this is the swimming suri, but it's their old swimming suri base. So this one only has 328 yards per 50 grams, whereas the other one, like their newer one, has like more 460 yards, I think. I don't have any, so I don't know, but that's a consideration because, so I have 6 balls of the blue tip, which is, yeah, it's the Knitting for Olive merino, so it's 250 meters per 50 grams, whereas this is 328 yards, which is 300 meters roughly per 50 grams. And I only have 3. And I think that's because I didn't look at how long the suri was. So I have much less of this than I thought I did. But I've knit up, I was initially intending to knit the Monday sweater by Petite, and I don't think my plans have changed. So I caked it up, and I do think that I think it looks so nice in the cake. And then I also, put that back, I knit a swatch, and this is on 4mm needles, and I think it's nice. But what I'm thinking is, I normally knit the petite knit, I knit a size small, just because they always seem to be more of a size than I want. And so I'm wondering if I try and knit the extra small on 4.5mm needles, because this would recommend, like the suri is thicker than they recommend. Like they suggest a fingering weight and a lace weight held together. But if this is slightly thicker, it is thicker than a lace weight, and if I go up a needle size, hopefully that will be fine. So my intention with this is to, I think 4.5mm needles, and then probably we'll do the ribbing on 3.5 just because I like a little bit of a tighter ribbing. But I'm thinking, and go down to the extra small. So I might try that and see how it goes. But also I want to do 2x2 ribbing accents for that one. I just love 2x2 ribbing. I think it looks so cool. I don't know why I dislike 1x1 ribbing so much, but I'm really not a fan, even though I do knit it. I don't know. I mix it up, but yeah. So that's my first plan. I do really want to knit that. The problem is I really want to knit all of them. There's too many. I can't cast them all on, so I have to choose. But yeah, that is definitely pretty high on my list. So that's the Petite Knit Monday sweater in these 2 yarns held together. That's my first plan. Well, my first thought. Where does that go? I'm going to put it back just here. My second one, let's go this one. So, similarly, Knitting for Olive. I will show you the colours. It's kind of like beigey, pinky-ish. This is the colour Camel Rose and Mushroom Rose. And to be perfectly honest, I got these as an accident. I think we ordered some yarn from my mum, and we ordered rose clay, but I think Camel Rose came instead. She was like, no, I want rose clay. So then I emailed them to be like, hey, you sent us the wrong yarn. And they were like, okay, we'll send you the right yarn. And I was like, if you're going to do that, can I buy some matching mohair for this? So I'll knit this up. In retrospect, I could have just knit this, you know, I probably didn't need mohair, and this has now been in my stash for a while, I suppose because I didn't really intend to buy it initially, but I bought it straight from Knitting for Olive, and so it's sort of sat in my stash. But out of these two, I want to knit I think it's the most recently released pattern, which is the Brady Loop sweater by Other Loops, which is just like, genuinely has taken over my brain. See, I was just like, I really want to cast that one on. I was sitting on the train yesterday, so I bought the pattern as soon as it came out. I'm obsessed. It's a sweater. It's sort of like, it's got like a big rib. I don't know what it is. It's like, but it's like got big, like, I don't know, 10 or 12 knits and then like 1 or 2 pearls. I don't know. Like it's like a big rib across, but then it's got cables that go like across the back and down the sleeves, and like another one goes down the shoulder and down the sleeves. So it's like got 2 rows of cables that go across the back, and then you have a rib that goes down. I don't know if I described that very well at all. I'll put a picture over here if I can remember to show you what it looks like. And it is just like, that pattern has taken over my brain. I think it looks so cool. I feel like I haven't seen like, obviously I've only been knitting like meaningfully for a year and a half or so, and I'm sure like there are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of patterns out there, but I haven't seen a construction like that before, where you like knit the back bit kind of with the cables, but you have to knit outwards to get the cable to go across, and then you go down for the back. I don't know, I'm doing a terrible job explaining, but it just looks like an amazing pattern. There's like, if you look up the hashtag or the Other Loops page, there's like, some people post pictures when they're like partway through. I'm like, how is that going to become a jumper? But it looks so nice. So that's what I want to knit out of these two. And the sizing is trash. Actually, I'm going to just say that. There's 3, maybe 4 sizes. Don't know what the deal with that is, but they also recommend a lot of positive ease. So I'm going to knit the smallest size, which again feels, that one, yeah, I don't know, not super impressed with that. But the pattern is just stunning. But yeah, so I want slightly less positive ease. So I'm going to knit the smallest size, which I think is recommended, like gives you a finished bust measurement of 100, which means that I've got at least 10 centimeters of positive ease, which is plenty. Yeah, no, I think that's so nice. And I'll admit, I was, yeah, as per usual, I was talking my mum's ear off about knitting, and I was telling her about this, and she was like, oh, maybe I'll knit that too. But you have to do it first so you can tell me how it works. But yeah, so a big fan of that. That is my second plan with my second sweater quantity. So yeah, I have 6 balls of each of these. My third one, oh, this one's really exciting. I only just got some of this yarn. Well, yeah, I'm trying to be sensible with my yarn purchasing, but you do what you can. So I have 2 yarns that are alpaca, and these are from my partner's alpaca, like his parents own alpacas on their farm, and you have to shear them. And this is the yarn from the shorn alpacas. The white one is from the alpaca called Little Bear, and the brown one is from the alpaca called Chili Pepper, which I think is really cute. And so I previously used the white to knit my Ingrid sweater, and I will say my one, like, sort of, not just like the one thing that I'm a bit like about my Ingrid sweater is like it's super drapey, which is a thing with alpaca yarn. But I'm hoping that this will help. So this is the Tin Silk Mohair from Sandnes Garn. And this is in the colors, this has got to be 1012. Yeah, 1012, which is whipped cream, I think. And 2543, which is brown sugar. And the whipped cream one looks, let me just put that down. This is a really good match. It'll just make it a little bit wider. This one's slightly less of a good match. Obviously the brown sugar, in my opinion, looks more like brown sugar. So it's a little bit, I suppose, like yellower than the alpaca, but I think it'll be fine. And the other option I think was too dark. But I want to knit out of these two the newest pattern by the Creabea, or Rebecca Clow, which is the Rhue sweater. Also has taken over my brain. But this one is colour work. I'm pretty happy with this. Currently, I've got a top-down raglan that I'm keen to knit. I've got a weird construction cable knit that I want to knit, and now this is like a contiguous shoulder construction, I think, or saddle shoulder, in the round colour work sweater. I'm happy with all those different plans. And I think like I wanted to do brown at the top and then turn in like that goes into white. So it's like the way you can do it is you like knit the top and then you do the color work and it the top in the brown and then the color work will like convert it to the white, and then like the end of the sleeves will be white, which is like good as long as I don't dip my sleeves in anything. But that's true of, you know, it wouldn't be ideal if I did that anyway, so I guess that'll be alright. So that's what I want to knit with those ones. I bought 3 of the tin silk mohair and 3 of each colour. I think they were 12 or 15 Australian dollars each, which is, you know, how much yarn costs, well, how much this yarn costs. And I'm happy to pay that because the reason I bought these is because the tin silk mohair has some wool content. Something like, help me out here, bro. It's 57% mohair, 28% silk, and 15% wool. And I'm hoping that the wool content will provide a little bit of sturdiness for the alpaca. Because I knit it, the Ingrid sweater I knit with the Knitting for Olive mohair, which is lovely and I love it, but it has no wool content and it is quite drapey. Which I feel like for that pattern I don't super love. But yeah, that's why I bought this specific mohair, because I wanted to try that. I personally have never tried the tin silk mohair, but did my mum try it? I can't remember. Because she definitely bought Double Sunday, but I don't know if she held it with mohair. Yeah, maybe none of us have tried it. No one I know in real life, but I suppose it does get pretty good reviews online. As a classic. So yeah, those are my yarns. That is plan number 3. What else have I got? Okay, this, yeah. Do I only have 3? Yeah, I think so. Because the rest of them I have just yarns for. So, my 4th sweater quantity of yarn that I have, well, kind of, that I have, this is the Pasley Knits Krabby DK, which is she's a hand dyer from Canada, and this is the colour Athena. And I say I kind of have a sweater quantity because I have 3, and I ordered 3 more from the pre-order that she did for the Rewind collection. A rogue series of choices. Like, this means I've paid for shipping more than twice, which is just like from Canada, unrelated to the dyer. Shipping from Canada is just expensive to Australia. But I had 3 balls of this and I saw that it was in the Rewind collection and I was like, I really do love this yarn. I know that just like a grit, see, it's one of my colors. I know that if I knit a sweater in this, I'll get a lot of wear out of it. I have no idea what sweater I want to knit. So I'll have 6 balls. They're 246 yards per 100 grams. How many meters is that? Bit more than 200, maybe 212. So that's at least, with 6 of them, that's at least 1,000 meters. And I'll admit that I recently knit the Lyon sweater, and that is very high in my esteem at the moment. I just think the construction is really cool. So that's one option. I think I probably want to do like a pretty simple pattern. Like, I don't really want any, like, I want the yarn to shine. So I don't really feel like I need to have like, texture. I don't really feel like I need texture. So that was the one I was considering, or I was briefly considering the newest pattern release by Atelier Castin, I think is the person's name. which is the Cognac sweater, which is just stunning and is definitely on my list. Although I don't think any of my yarns really, well, it just requires much less yarn. So I feel like that would frustrate me if I've just bought 3 more balls, like 3 more skeins of this. And I want to try and use as much of it as possible. So I think probably something more like the Lyon sweater. But if you have any suggestions for like a cool construction or just like a pattern, what is it called? Like a tried and true ones that you love, I'd be super interested to hear them. But yeah, so that's my 4th sweater quantity. I have 3 currently. I will have 6. I've got 3 other sweaters that I definitely want to cast on, and I'm waiting for the yarn for this one to arrive. So that one, I suppose, is slightly lower on the list. The 4th sweater quantity. So I bought this with full plans. This is Sandnes Garn Double Sunday and Tin Silk Mohair in just like, can you tell I like green? In a really lovely dark green. So the Double Sunday is in 8082, which is like, I think it's forest green or dark green. And the Tin Silk Mohair is 8581. And it definitely, like, I don't know, the mohair's like coming up a bit greener. But they always, I don't know, they always look a little bit different when they're balled up. I bought this with the intention of knitting the Moby sweater. And so I was confident. I think I saw, I want to say Midsummer Knit a Moby sweater in a dark green, and I was obsessed. But I bought it at the same time as I bought, so these are from Sandnes Garn. I bought some Sandnes Garn Peer Gynt in like a denim blue colour, and I knit my partner a Moby sweater. And it was a slog. And I think partly it's because as a man, he doesn't want to wear a cropped sweater, so the body took forever. And there's a few differences. Like I have both the men's and the women's pattern, and like their neckline is like smaller, and a few things like that. It doesn't make a huge difference, but the gist is like I had to knit the body full length, had to knit the sleeves full length, and by the end I was just done with knitting the Moby sweater. So I have a full sweater's quantity of this yarn, which is just like so nice to look at, and completely a colour that fits in my wardrobe like perfectly. And I have no idea what to knit. So my one caveat is I have a dark green hand knitted cardigan. Like I knit myself a cardigan from some yarn that was like bought from one of our big box, is that what it's called? Big box stores? I bought it from Spotlight or Lincraft. So like not as nice as this. This is very nice, but I have that cardigan, I wear that cardigan, I don't need to replace that cardigan. So I think I want to knit a sweater, but I don't know what. But I have the yarn I would need to knit the Moby sweater, which is like, I have 6 balls of mohair and 12 balls of the Double Sunday. So like, I pretty much can knit any pattern I want, and I don't know what to knit. I was considering, like I do love a cable knit sweater. There's like the sweater number 20 from My Favorite Things Knitwear is on my list of like, I love that sweater. But contrary to me right now, I'm not a massive V-neck person. I don't know, they just like, I'm a bit weird about them. So I'm not 100% sure, and I don't know that I want to commit all the way to a V-neck and then decide that I hate it. So this is a sweater quantity that I want to knit, that I just don't have any ideas for. But I also thought I could, for example, knit the Moby and just like change a bunch of parts of it. But I'm not sure. So we will see with that one. But that is my 5th? I think 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's my 5th sweater quantity. And last, but not least, I have some more knitting for Olive. I realised I clearly have a few favourites, and I also did a couple of orders towards the end of last year that I haven't knit with yet, because they go on sale and I know I like the yarn and I know I'll knit with the yarn. So I buy it, but then I just need to spend the rest of the year just like calming down, knitting what I have, because I love all of my skeins and I just want to knit them. So this is the knitting for Olive. Pomegranate, sorry, merino in the color Pomegranate. I have 6 balls of this. It looks orange, more orange on the screen than I think it is in real life. And my plan with this one is to, at some point when I go to my parents' house in Canberra, there is a Murray Bateman, I think, based hand dyer called Black Wattle Yarns, I think. I'm gonna confirm this. And they have, I saw them in person at like a Christmas market last year, and I thought that the yarn that they had was really nice, but I was like, I don't need any more yarn right now. I hadn't ordered this yet, so I was just like, I'm just gonna, make good choices. I restrained myself to buying one skein for a gift. But I think I would be really keen to take this and go to their shop and pick some matching suri alpaca to hold with it. I realize almost all of my yarns come from overseas. It's not particularly environmentally friendly, etc. And so I would really like to try some Australian-based hand dyers. But it's also a little bit tricky because Australia's quite far from other places. It's hard to see other people knitting with the yarns, and so you sort of, without seeing them in person, I'm a little bit more apprehensive. Whereas lots of hand dyers from overseas that I have found on Instagram have bigger followings overseas, and so you can sort of see what people are knitting with them. But maybe I can help to change that. So yeah, I want to knit with this and a red suri. I think, again, I want like a 2x2 rib, something chunky. I'm just sort of like happy for it not to be particularly textured. I think I'm just going through a phase where like I'm down for some cables and stuff, but I'm not really not in a textured-y phase right now. So, I mean, actually, let's be clear. This is to knit something based on the what is it? What's that show? Not How to Get Away with Murder. Only Murders in the Building. The sweater that Selena Gomez wore in one episode. It's like a knitted red sweater, and that's like my inspiration for this yarn. And so that also had no texture. So that's part of the reason that I'm like, yeah, I just want like a nice red sweater, good vibes. Like, again, the Monday sweater, the Lyon sweater, just both like fit really nicely. I feel kind of confident in like making a few rogue changes, just seeing how that goes. And yeah, I have knit them, so I know how they fit and I like how they fit. So like, obviously the cheaper option is to use what you already have, but as established by the fact that I have 6 sweater quantities of yarn, I clearly haven't gone for the cheaper option up until now, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, that is my last sweater quantity, and that is all I have. So yeah, I clearly have 3 pretty set plans. I'm sort of coming to the end of one sweater project right now, so like I'm definitely in a position that I could cast on another sweater. So I'm thinking, yeah, I've just got to decide what that is. I feel like I want to do something that's not stockinette in the round, so I think I maybe know which one I want to cast on. I was admittedly like sitting on the train yesterday reading the instructions for the Brady Loop sweater, like trying to work out what it wanted me to do, because you have to do this complicated, like you have to start in the middle of the back and knit outwards to get the cable to go all the way across. Anyway, so I was looking that up and thinking about minor changes that I want to make, just that it like is more my style. But anyway, yeah, so that's what I have. Those are my plans. That's my yarn. Yeah, I'd be super interested if you have any patterns that you really like, which are just like for a plain. I realise I just said I don't want to knit plain stockinette sweater, but I do in the long term want to knit more plain stockinette sweaters, and I'm interested in different constructions. So yeah, be super interested if you have any suggestions, or if you have any plans that you're dying to cast on. We'd love to hear those too. Awesome. All right, thank you so much. I hope you have a great day. Bye.